Hi, my name is Bobby Carlton, and I am going to be presenting about public speaking. So hold on one second. We're going to be sharing here. And here we go. All right. So obviously, we are going into a pitch contest, and pitch contests are part of public speaking. So, this is my area of expertise. And I always tell people this is a case, though, of do as I say, not as I do. And one of the things that I'm here to do today is to get you to say yes to public speaking, because I firmly believe that public speaking is a complete game changer when it comes to business and careers. So, again, hi, my name is Bobby Carlton, and I am the founder of actually 3 different companies. So, I usually tell people that my day job is I run a public relations and marketing firm. My night job is I run a pitch event in Boston called Mass Innovation Nights. We've helped to launch over 1,500 new products that have gotten more than $4 billion in collective funding. The dream job is Innovation Women, and that's one of the reasons that I'm here today. Innovation Women is designed to get more women on stage at conferences and events because we need to see you up there on stage. I've done a lot of public speaking myself. I was actually invited to speak at the United Nations. I did a TEDx event. I was also part of the main stage show at IEEE's Women in Engineering International Leadership Conference. And this past summer, there was a pandemic, so I didn't have a whole lot to do. So I acquired 2 additional companies. One of them is called Lioness Magazine for the female entrepreneur, and also My Speaker Leads, which is another service for speakers. I would like you to close your eyes and imagine that you are going to a conference, not this conference, any other conference. So you've picked up your badge, you have maybe your coffee in your other hand, and you are going to a panel that contains the foremost industry experts, the biggest experts in your industry. Does that panel look like this? We call this a manel. That's an all-male panel. 2/3 of all conference speakers are men. That's why we see so many manels. Conferences and events have a major gender problem. It's a very visible gender problem. We can see it. It's also a gender problem that is reflective of the industry as a whole. When you see so many men on stage, as a woman, you don't feel very comfortable being in an industry that's represented that way. It's so bad that it is mocked. This is actually a Tumblr called Congrats, you have an all-male panel. And people put up pictures of all-male panels, and they stamp each and every one of them with a picture of David Hasselhoff giving you the big thumbs up. Congrats, Mr. Event Manager. It's so bad it's mocked. Number 2, these are actually screens from an app called Gender Avenger Tally, or the GA Tally. And what they do is allow people to count out the number of speakers at an event, assign gender, and figure out, where the event managers went wrong. Let's put it that way. So some of the panels that they create are things like, the future and the present are bright and shiny. That's a panel that has good gender equity. They also have cloudy, with a chance of patriarchy when you don't have good gender equity. So why speak? Well, I will tell you that every time you get on stage, you have the opportunity to tell your story. And when you tell your story, you have business and career opportunities that go with it. That's why I'm here to tell you that I want you to say yes every single time that you are offered an opportunity to stand on stage. I'm going to talk to you right now about the 5 C's of speaking, the gender equal benefits that we all get. Speaking benefits. The first C is customers. Every time you get to stand on stage, you have the opportunity to connect with potential customers. They're in the audience, they're in the network at large. You are up there telling your story and perhaps the story of your company. Career. When you're on stage, you're demonstrating 2 additional C's. You're demonstrating your competence and your confidence. And if you think about what companies want to hire, they want to hire competent, confident employees. So this is an opportunity to not only grow inside your company, but potentially be seen by other hirers. The third C is cash, cold, hard cash. If you're an entrepreneur, the ability to speak and be on stage and be seen means that investors have an opportunity to see you. They have an opportunity to hear your story. If you're an employee, public speaking, it's actually directly correlated with better salaries. So if you're a poor public speaker, you're actually potentially earning less. Connections. This is an opportunity to do a little math. When you are doing public speaking, you're not just speaking to the people in the room. You're speaking to all these potential connections. If you think about it, maybe there are 70 to 100 people in the room that you're talking to, but far more people saw your name on the program. Far more people may have seen your name and your company name and your title and a little bit about your presentation in email blasts or advertisements. When an event manager is marketing an event, they are talking about their speakers. That's the major content that they're sharing. So a lot more people than just the ones that are in your room are going to learn about you. Credibility. When you're on stage, people think you know more about the topic than they do. You are a thought expert. You are leading the conversation. When you are on stage, you are the expert. So there are so many opportunities out there to speak. Yes, even during the pandemic, a lot of people are doing this type of presenting. So we call it the speaker's paradise. If you think about it, pre-pandemic, there were literally tens of thousands individual TEDx talks, more than 50,000 individual TEDx talks. Last year, so hold on a second, 2 years ago, 2019, Eventbrite sold tickets to more than 3 million events. Meetup had more than 500,000 individual monthly events. And that's to say nothing of the 92,000 professional organizations, many of which hold monthly events. This is a $37 billion industry. Yes, even during the pandemic. So many different types of speaking opportunities are available to you. So in general, when you think about public speaking, most people think about it as an individual thing. One person on stage, the keynote. But there are many other opportunities too. You could be a featured speaker. You could be part of a panel. You could be a co-presenter. You can be a guest lecturer or a moderator or the MC. You can even stand up and ask a question from the audience. If you think about it, that is a form of public speaking. So at the end of a presentation, one of the things that you want to do if you want to get experience doing public speaking is stand up and ask a question. You're addressing the exact same audience that the main stage speakers are addressing. You have the opportunity to say your name, your company name, and to demonstrate your knowledge of the topic at large. So if you want to get started with public speaking, asking a question from the audience is a great way to get started. Obviously, there's a pandemic. Obviously, not a lot of live events. So we're talking about this as the new normal, and it could continue for a little while. So event managers really had a choice. They could cancel, they could postpone, or they could go virtual. And obviously, we're all here today because this event went virtual. And quite frankly, virtual events are awesome. These are increasing the opportunities for you as potential public speakers. You can do multiple public speaking engagements in a single day. You don't have to go anywhere. And it's also decreased the competition in some respects because a lot of people are waiting for things to return to normal. So this all sounds great, Bobby. How do I get myself up there? Well, the basic currency of public speaking, especially around industry conferences and events, is what is called the call for speakers. And what you want to do is you want to search for that word. You want to search for the words call for speakers and attach your area of expertise to it. So, for example, for me, I work in public relations, so I will search on call for speakers, public relations, call for speakers, marketing. This helps you connect with the event managers during the time that they are specifically looking for you. And one way to get more speaking engagements is to do a great job with the ones that you do. So, this is really just an introduction to public speaking. And remember when I was talking about how you can get started with public speaking? Well, now here's your chance. You can actually ask a question. So this is your opportunity to be a public speaker and ask a question and talk to everybody.
Bobby, the number one question we have, and thank you for that amazing chat, is how do you get paid to speak?
This is actually the number one question I get asked. How do you get paid to speak? So I will let you know that for most event managers, actually just about 50% of event managers have absolutely no budget whatsoever for speakers. This is pretty standard for industry conferences and events. The event managers are assuming that you get paid to speak. This is part of your job. 42% of event managers only pay keynotes or featured speakers. So only 8% of event managers pay speakers to speak. So what you have to do is look for those opportunities, generally with corporations or with universities, and they're the ones that are more likely to pay you to speak. And I will also say that always ask if they have a budget for speaker, because the person who doesn't get paid is usually the person who never asks. Great.
We have time for one more question.
Yeah, one more question.
So if you're inundated with speaking opportunities, how do you choose the best one?
Choose the best. Wow. Okay. So what you want to do is look for the best match between your goals as a speaker and the opportunities. So a lot of people are looking at public speaking opportunities as a way to get investment for their startups, or as a way to get new jobs, or as a way to sell their product. So what you want to do is look for the audience that best matches your need. Hope that answers your questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Bobby. And I'm going to bring Chaitra back up on stage.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you, Bobby. It was spectacular. I learned some few tricks. And as organizers, you are correct that we don't have a budget for speakers. So we want this, we will do a lot for speakers by publicizing their work, but we don't have the budget. Absolutely, you're correct.
All right. Thanks, folks. And if you need to connect with me, I'm easy to find on the Google.